Hi, this is Dave Miller,
And I'm Tammy Miller.
and we're happy to be with you on this webinar today. We're going to talk about vision and time freedom and about the lifestyle that doTERRA's been able to provide for us.
So this is a picture of our family currently. We have 3 daughters, and you can see us holding a picture of our son. I can't see him very well, but he is currently serving a mission for our church in Norway, and he's been over there for about 6 months right now.
So I want to start with what we were doing before doTERRA. So we were part owners in a printing company called Rocky Mountain Printing in Utah. And we grew this from a very small business. In 15 years, took it to a nice size business, one of the largest printing companies in Utah. And if you don't know about printing, I will share a little bit about that. And it's a small profit margin business, so you have to do a lot of volume, and equipment is very expensive. So the pictures that you see below the picture of our building there is a printing press, and each one of these printing presses costs $2.5 million. So we had to run them all the time. But we chose to run them 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, so that we could get as much throughput and as much income so that we could generate a profit, pay the loans on the presses, and so forth. So this meant, because I was in sales, this meant a lot of late night press checks, looking at those first sheets off the press. Sometimes I'd be there with a customer. Sometimes we'd get calls in the middle of the night for other reasons. People had questions, but I had to be available 24 hours a day pretty much, because that's when the shop was open.
So we had a great lifestyle in terms of financial freedom, but the one thing that we had a desire was to have more time together as a family, and we had the opportunity to look at doTERRA as a business, and the compensation plan and the products, and we saw an amazing opportunity that we took advantage of.
So like Tammy said, the money was great. The issue was that just having money doesn't create time freedom. So there was a problem there that we had. So this is a picture of our family at the time, and you can see they were young. So our oldest daughter was about 16 years old, and our youngest there was about 7. But the first 3, there was only 2 years apart. So we could see what was happening, and that is that the kids would get in high school, start graduating quickly, and then, one by one, they would go off on their own. And I wasn't okay with that. Like, I still had so many things I wanted to do with them, and I wanted to be more present for them, because even though the money was good, the time freedom wasn't good. So yeah, I was able to go to games, I was able to go to performances, but was I really there? Was I really present? I mean, yes, in body, but a lot of times I was answering emails, I was on my phone, I had to talk to customers, there was bids that needed to be done. And that's the part that I was like, there's got to be something better than this. There's got to be something that's different so that I can be present for my family. One of the things we love to do was travel, because we've always been a believer in collecting memories instead of collecting things. And so a lot of our dollars spent have been spent on how can we spend time together. And we were able to do that before, but like I said, even though we were in great places, I wasn't always present, and that needed to change. So many of my customers at the printing company were network marketing companies. Now, I never wanted to do network marketing, but I appreciated the amount of literature that they generated because it provided for a lot of print. But I also got to be friends with some successful distributors in network marketing. And in fact, one particular friend offered us a place that he had in Montana that we could take a summer vacation.
So as you can see right here, we decided to do a white water rafting tour with our family, and we had a lot of fun running the rivers. And we had a great time. We were in a pretty remote area of Montana, but what I found was that even though we were on our trip, and like Dave was talking, like there was a lot of times that he just wasn't able to completely unplug from his job because he had customers that needed to have bids, or there were problems that came up, maybe with, during the print job or whatever. But he was, so we were in this remote area of Montana, and we didn't have great cellular service or Wi-Fi signal, and he was trying to talk to a customer, and I remember seeing him standing outside trying to, like, maybe stand under a tree, or just find the right angle, something, so he could get a strong enough signal so that he could answer the questions of a concerned customer.
Then it occurred to me, when my friend's up here using his cabin, I bet he's not doing this because he has a residual income. There's no real emergencies, and he has the internet there, and he can do his business if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, he can just enjoy the surroundings. And also, he could stay there as long as he wanted because his business was completely portable. And I just had the crazy thought that, well, maybe network marketing is the right thing for our family. Maybe that checks off all of my list of things I wanted in a job, that, I could help people, could earn unlimited income potential, could do it from anywhere. And I started overcoming that stigma I had about network marketing, right? So it was at that point we came away from that trip, and I thought I should probably really look at that. And then someone shared some essential oils with us.
So my friend Julie shared these 3 oils with me: lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And she shared how her family used these oils to help with ailments, that just daily things that came up with her family. And my oldest daughter, Caitlin, who was 16 at the time that we were introduced to the oils, she had been struggling with digestive distress for nearly 9 years of her life. And I didn't even know how to use essential oils, but these 3 oils came in the trio kit, and on the inside flap it said lavender is good for calming, peppermint's good for digestion. So I put a couple of drops on her stomach, and within 10 minutes her stomach ache went away. And I was absolutely amazed how quick and effective they were. And at that point, I wanted to learn everything that I could about essential oils, because my daughter had struggled for so long, and I wanted to be able to help her with other health concerns that she was facing.
So that became a perfect storm for us, right? Our mind was open to network marketing. We found a product that we loved that really made a difference in our family, a company that had integrity and a great compensation plan. And that created a vision for us. We could see ourselves sharing oils with people, helping empower them and their families, while creating a lifestyle and a business that could sustain us, that would be residual. And we just had this big vision of getting out of the printing business, creating this great income, having time for our family. And basically, instead of putting our job first and working our life around that, we could put our life first and work our job around that. So our life, could be number one priority in our family. Now, we knew this wasn't going to happen immediately. this was a dream, right? This was a vision. This is something in the future that was going to happen. And we knew that we could get there. We would be successful. Now, we didn't know how long that would take, but we had a strong vision. And from that vision, we developed a strategy. And our strategy was we were going to leverage our long-term vision, what that could create for our family, to endure the short-term sacrifices. Because if we don't have a clear vision of our life, then we have no reason to make those short-term sacrifices, because what's the payoff? And those sacrifices will be there. They're going to be there. It's going to be difficult. But when it's difficult, you have your vision that you can go to. So I want to talk to you about those difficult times and something that I call focused imbalance. So when we were running that river, there's a specific way that we would run it. Now, if you think of balance in life, that means kind of spending equal time on all areas of your life. That would be what most people would define as balance. And I think that's not how it is. I think what you need, if you want to accomplish things, you're better off having focused imbalance. So life is kind of like running a river. So when we're running that river, generally when you get on the raft, the river's slow and you're just moving along, and there's no need to paddle. You can enjoy the scenery's beautiful, and that's the time where we're, on the boat, where maybe we're jumping off or playing games, splashing each other, and you just enjoy the float. Now, occasionally you might go into a part, it might push you into a part of a river that's really slow and you have to paddle out a little bit, but generally you're just enjoying that ride. And then you hit the rapids, and now the rapids demand a lot of paddling. You get those rapids, and that's when you're digging in your paddle and you're trying not to tip over. You want everyone to be safe. You want to get through the rapids, and it's also it's one of the most fun parts. Get that adrenaline going, and it's just absolutely a blast. Now, if we were going to run that river in a traditional balanced way, well, when it's slow, we would paddle forward, because in order to run it balanced, we would want the raft to run the same speed the entire river. So when it's slow, we paddle. As it starts picking up speed, then we don't have to paddle as much. Then when it hits the rapids, we would have to paddle backwards. We'd have to slow that boat down. Well, if you ran a river, that would be disaster. The raft would surely tip. Everyone, it could be in a dangerous situation. That's not how you're going to run the river. When it's time to dig in, you're going to dig in, you're going to shoot through those rapids. And it's the same in your doTERRA business. You have to have focused imbalance through the rapids. You got to dig in when it's time to build and really get it done. I think that applies to a lot of areas of life. So that got us through those hard times, and we were imbalanced. In fact, your life changed completely.
Prior to doTERRA, I was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, and then when we started doing this, this is what a week looked like. We would do 2 meetings, and sometimes they were in our home, sometimes they were other places, but we would do business opportunity meetings, product meetings, and then I also did the very first Diamond Club, and that required me to travel all over the place. And that was a huge sacrifice for our family, because my children were always used to having me available to them. And so that kind of really put our life in a little bit of a chaos. But we talked to our children about what our vision was and what things would look like. But we were going to have to make these short-term sacrifices in order to enjoy those long-term benefits.
Well, and then now, what does our life look like, right? We're well into our doTERRA journey. We've built a a lot of great leaders. We have great teams. We're in over 30 countries, and we've been able to realize a lot of those dreams. In fact, now I'm able to take my kids to school. When they come home, most of the time I can stop working and I can be with them. I can help them with things. We have a great time together, and we've been able to travel like we've wanted to.
So the pictures that you see on the screen, a lot of those pictures are taken in Norway. That's where my mother was born and raised, and I have a lot of family that still lives over there. And so it's been fun to be able to spend more time over in Norway, where I used to live, and build our doTERRA business. So at the bottom, you see a picture of us doing a training in Oslo, Norway, and doing an aroma touch training. We were also able to take our children on vacation there several times.
And there's some pictures of us there in Amsterdam. We have some fantastic leaders there. And these are some from Germany. And you can see we're doing class in Germany, in Bratislava, Slovakia. We're in Ireland, our family in Paris, Italy. These are some pictures from Asia. We've been able to help people build there in Korea, Hong Kong, in Taiwan. Got to play golf in Korea this year, which is awesome because I love to play golf.
So as you can see from these pictures, we're just doing a lot of fun activities with our children. And the awesome thing is we are just able to completely unplug. Doesn't have to be tied to a laptop or tied to a phone, answering calls from customers that are frustrated or need something. So it's been such an awesome blessing in our life.
So we love the beach, and I love to golf. You can see us there at the Masters and at Pebble Beach with my son. He and I like to do that a lot together. And also with some of our doTERRA people, we've been able to make such good friends and travel with our doTERRA team. And that's one of the things that's been so rewarding about this business. Another thing this has allowed us to do is we did want to create more income so that we could participate in humanitarian and provide things for other people.
Humanitarian work is something that Dave and I have always been passionate about, and that was a big part of our vision, was be able to influence other lives, and then they've influenced our lives immensely. So in these pictures, we are on the right or on the left side of the screen. We are in Guatemala restoring a school there, painting and doing other things that needed to be done there. And that was such an incredible experience, and to be able to mingle with families in the community was just such an incredible experience. And then the pictures on the right hand of the screen, Dave had the opportunity to take our son, who is now serving a mission in Norway. He was able to take our son Alex to Ghana, Africa, and they were able to do some amazing things there.
Yeah, that was a great trip. It was really eye-opening for him, even though he had traveled a lot of the world, then he hadn't been able to participate in just really helping people, building a clinic, fixing a school, and we just had a wonderful time there. And currently we're partnering with doTERRA on another project. Healing Hands is helping support in Africa, in Ghana, Africa, where we are doing some things to help special needs children there. And so that's making a difference, and we feel fantastic about that too, and hope to do a lot more humanitarian in the future. Well, we will. Now, your weekly challenge. So before we get
to that, I just want to share two quotes with you, and then Dave's going to give you your weekly challenge. But a lot of times we have dreams, but a lot of times people's dreams don't become fulfilled. And I love this quote that says, "Our truest life is when we are in dreams awake." So you can be able to create the life that you want so that you're living that dream, not just dreaming it. And then I also love this quote. It says, a payday is not about a paycheck. It's about the unexpected blessings that come from living a life of purpose. And so I really love that. That really speaks to me because Dave and I are really living the life that we want. We feel it's very purposeful because we're able to have an influence on a lot of lives.
Thank you, Tammy. So now for our weekly challenge, we would like your challenge is write down your vision for the future like it already happened. So let me explain this to you a little bit. So we practiced this, and I remember one particular time we were diamond, we were building to blue diamond, and I got my notebook and I wrote down, we are blue diamond. And I wrote down what our income would be and what that income would mean, the things we could do with that income, and our travels and our humanitarian. And if I wanted to travel somewhere, I would write down, we visit this place and this is what it smelled like and felt like, and the sand felt this way on my feet and between my toes, and these are the activities we're able to do, and this is my relationships with people. And you can just write down everything from financial to travel to spiritual to physical things, what kind of, how maybe that frees up time for you to exercise more or to run that marathon you've been wanting to run or any of those things like that. But write it down, make it vivid, make it real, and then refer to it often, because you're going to have hard times. You're going to have times where you look and say, wow, I'm working so hard, not making a lot of money, but you will eventually get paid for those things. And your vision is what's going to get you through that. And it'll keep changing. You can add to it. This is your story. You are the author of this, and you can change it whenever you want to whatever you want to. And I know that whatever lifestyle that you want to live, that this can provide that for you. And along the way, you're going to meet some great people, help a lot of people. And I'm just really excited for you.
So we wish you the best of luck. We know that you can attain the goals that you want in doTERRA. Just remember that vision is a big part of it, because that's what's going to keep you going when the going gets tough.
Thank you for joining us. We're excited for you and what your life is and what your life will be. And take this challenge and do it. And hopefully we're going to talk to you soon.